Hey, welcome back to Milton Daily Homes. Glasses are off, hair's cut. Nice fresh Monday. So 18 listings on the Toronto system, 2 more on the Oakville-Milton system, which is affiliated with the thing called the Ontario Regional, which includes like all the west areas, so Hamilton, Burlington, Cambridge, Guelph, even through the Golden Horseshoe. So that's one system. And then you have the Toronto system, which goes from Bowmanville all the way over to Oakville-Milton, through Burlington, as far north as Innisfil. Huge geographic area, but those two real estate boards kind of overlap right in the spot. So sometimes an agent, depending on which board they're a member of, is only going to list on one place or the other place. Some list on both. We list on both. There's a few other agents that do to get more exposure. So what you see normally public facing is on realtor.ca or any of the other third-party sites is you're going to see 2 MLS numbers. One starts with a 3, which is the Oakville-Milton regional feed, and then there's also a W for the Toronto Real Estate Board. So if somebody sends me an MLS listing, I can usually tell where it comes from based on the MLS ID. Anyway, long story short, I talk about that probably once every week or two just to let people know how that goes. And today's episode of 20 Properties is a bit of a comedy of errors. So I'm going to talk about that. It's almost embarrassing how many errors are in here. So no errors on this one here on Wilson. Okay, so it's an end unit condo townhouse. It looks like it's in good shape. These ones really got beat up for a while, and then they kind of came back. And some of the townhouses with garages and with gas heating have gone even into the kind of mid 400s. So the two things that hold this one back, electric baseboard heat and the fact that it doesn't have an actual garage, that actually helps with the layout of the main floor, so you're not finding the imbalance because the home's working around the garage. So there's the same square footage on main floor and second, but normally what it means is you only have one surface spot assigned to you, and if that's the case and you have 2 cars, you gotta kind of have some workarounds. Some people park in visitors, but that's not what they're designed for, so you gotta be careful if you have 2 cars. $400 is the price, and they're taking offers on this one on Sunday night, which I can't stand Sunday night offers. I did one last night where an agent was trying to strong arm me at like 11 p.m. I said, dude, like my client's asleep. We're not getting this done. But Sunday night offers, I don't know where things sort of veered off the rails and that started to become okay. But anyway, it is what it is. I don't know. Hard to say how this one would go. I think it's got the appearance. It's got the end unit. But those 2 things are holding it back, in my eyes, from being a good option for someone else. The big issue with electric baseboard heat is the cost of electricity. And if you run them the same way as you run a gas-heated system, your bills can be very, very expensive. Now, that being said, I think the purchase price is going to be lower than if you bought a gas-heated condo townhouse. Okay, so again, not errors. We're getting to the errors. But this one, so these are stacked townhouses. This door goes up to the upper unit, which is here and there. The lower unit door is here, so your main floor plus your basement. So it's kind of 4 levels. And what I like about this one, and any of these layouts, is that you have a main floor family room open to a kitchen. You've got a master bedroom around the corner here, and then you've got your garage access. I can't remember if laundry is here or not. It may be upstairs, it could be downstairs, but for the most part, you could live on this floor. And so somebody who has accessibility issues, trouble with stairs, this may be a viable option for them. Downstairs, there's some extra finish space. They have, you can see right here, the bathroom as well, so you could have a shower. And then you get into the basement space. Okay, so there it is there. You've got 2 bedrooms here, plus a washroom. All your furnace and everything is there. Like I said, I'm not sure where the laundry is. And then there's your garage. So this, I like this one for downsizers. I think it's kind of an out-of-the-box thing. I think most downsizers kind of think of like a condo building as being their best option. But this stack design could work. And the price is good. Condo fees are only $85 a month. It includes mostly garbage, snow removal, that kind of thing. But it's cool. These units, I didn't like them when I first saw them. I'm starting to grow on them a bit. Okay, first error. Ready for this? 3 days on the market. No photos. Inexcusable. Now, I have a friend by the name of Dean Jackson who is doing this big study about how MLS photos affect the sale price, how virtual tours, more photos, are they better? If there is a virtual tour, if there's not, does that affect the sale price of the home? I think it does. I don't know if that'll show up in the stats, but this one here, end unit, just under 1,300 square feet, has the lovely combination of too much clutter and homemade photos. So cleaning stuff off the fridge is such a simple thing. Decluttering your counter. These are things that are mandatory, required. And I know if my photographer came into this home, immediately it would even with stuff on the fridge, look infinitely better. Anyway, there's a lot to be improved on this one, and there's a lot of competition for these village towns. Even last week, a couple of really good ones in the 520s that are pretty much the same size as this. So kind of a triple price, a little bit off, appearance, and marketing presentation. All of them could just go up, or in the case of price, maybe down a little bit to get them a lot more action. Now this one qualifies as kind of an omission, not really an error per se. And I get it. I mean, whenever you have something that's a little bit off, you have a choice as a seller and as a listing agent. Do you actually talk about it completely up front, or do you let people sort of explore it and then decide if they want to do something? So I'll talk about the house first. It's a 1,600 square foot Mattamy house. It's a great layout. So you've got kind of an open layout in a sense, like you've got a separate dining room, but then it kind of leads into this kitchen family room. It's a very open concept. This home is not exactly upgraded. They talk about how clean it is, but most people are going to come in and go, oh, it's a little bit plain. That being said, it's $640 for a 1,600 square foot semi-detached home. I think that's good. Even the shape of these cupboards works well if you were to paint them. If you chose to do that, a good painter is going to charge you probably $100 to $150 a door to paint these cabinets. You replace the appliances, you put some new counters in here. You can do a lot with $10,000. And I think that would be a wise investment given, just the size and type of this home. Okay, so there it is there. It's a great layout though. Okay, so very, very good long driveway. And if you look down here, the age of this home is, I don't know, it's probably getting close to 15 years old. Roof, 2017, that's good. Furnace and AC, 2016. Now the omission is that those units are rented. And so when they replaced the furnace and AC, they said, well, look, you could, I know how this works. Reliance or whoever it was would say, well, you could pay $7,000 up front, or you could pay $100 a month for like 15 years. The problem with that is when you have to discharge that, it now costs you $10,000 instead of $7,000, as an example. Now, that's usually a negotiating point. Very few buyers are okay with assuming that cost. They'll try and sell it to you, Reliance will, and then sellers try and do it too. Oh, well, you don't need to worry about anything. Yeah, but the total cost is way, way more. Anyway, so what you find is that it becomes one of the hardest negotiating points in the deal to figure out who's going to pay for the discharge of those items. Okay, Wise Crossing 735. This is a Mattamy. It's a Rose something. Anyway, it's like 1860 square feet. They said approximately 1950. That's not even close. Okay, so that's a big, big difference. I still think that this price, there's detached homes. The minute you're a semi in this kind of range, you have to really stand out. I don't know if it's enough, price-wise. There's a lot of these that have been selling a lot closer to 7. So another error here. First of all, Job Crescent 840. If you look at the listing right before, 739, $100,000 difference. The other one quotes as 2,600 square feet, which is correct. This one is also 2,600 square feet of total finished space, including the basement. It's not 2,900. I have sold this floor plan. I have the floor plans. It is absolutely not 2,900 square feet, and it's not even close to that. They're 10% higher than where they should be, and that's just not cool. Okay, so I hope somebody's not relying on that information, and I desperately hope somebody's not going to pay 8 something for this, because I don't think they need to. Okay, so a few more assignment sales. There's too many of these. It is just not, it's not a valuable proposition really for a buyer. I mean, maybe they can choose some of their finishes, but even something like this on Bronson, like 3,100 square feet, the value of that on a detached or on a resale market, maybe 1.1 if it's really nice, maybe 115, something like that. Put a pond, green space behind it. What are you going to get for that? Maybe another 50 grand. So they're not that far off, but I don't think they're getting 1,298, especially with all the competition for these assignments. There's so many of them out there, and I find if you're buying from a builder, it's one thing. I disagree with a lot of those prices, but with a resale, I think a resale shopper looking on MLS is looking for, they can touch it and feel it and look at it, and buying the piece of paper that somebody else, buying someone else's sheet of paper, it's just not good. Okay, so that is, I got one more too. Hold on one sec. All right, 158 Higginbotham. It's on the Ortis system, the regional West system. So here's the thing. Westgate Corner, 689. Not bad. For 689, I would go over to the one we talked about last week on Timmer. Here's the thing. Your wait is over. Bad grammar. I know people that watch Daily Homes and will totally slaughter people over having a toilet seat up. And I know that there's grammar Nazis. I said Nazi. I didn't want to say Nazi, but you know what I'm saying. There's people that are hardcore into grammar. I would bet, and this is just experience here, that probably 5 to 10% of the buyers out there are a little anal retentive around grammar. That would turn them off. And I've had sellers that, there might be one little spelling error, we didn't catch it, nobody's perfect, but they've gone to me and said, hey man, you gotta fix that. And, will it affect the marketing? I think it will. I really do think that there's people out there that will cross this off the list, especially when they have lots of other options. In the spring, where there were no other options, you can overlook grammar. But I really, really believe this. It sounds silly, but I've witnessed it firsthand on the buyer and the seller side. Bad grammar, big error. More than most people think. Okay, there you go. That's the list. A bit of a longer episode, but if you have any questions, you want to see anything in today's list, let us know. It's funny. Sharon, go back to this one here. Holbrook Court. It's not a Mississauga. Here's another error. Final error of the day. You got to check your map links as agents. You got to look at where the property is. You got to make sure it's in the right place. Otherwise, it messes up your marketing, because a lot of buyers search using maps. They're not just using criteria. Okay, have a great day. We'll see you tomorrow.